Hi everyone, hope you're having a good weekend. We're going over week 13. It's hard to believe we're already in the 13th week. And this week we're going to continue to refine your Reader's Guide draft and to add the final piece to the Reader's Guide draft, which is that editor's projected inquiry. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. What I have done since you handed in your Reader's Guide drafts on Friday is I've looked over them, and any concerns that I saw, either large or small, I put into one document. That allows me to get a quick turnaround time to get you back the comments as soon as possible. So you're going to use my general comments that I have posted here to do the peer response for today to your group's Reader's Guide drafts. So your feedback is going to use the checklist and my comments on what you think the writer needs to be working on. You can feel free to just copy and paste from the checklist or from my comments into your own comment on their document. So if you see something that I've explained word for word in my general comments, you can just copy and paste it where it would be appropriate to do so on your group members' document when you're peer reviewing them, okay? And so to look at my comments, so I just finished these and I've posted them as a to-do item list. Not all of these comments are going to apply to everyone's draft, but it's your job to review your own draft as well and think about which suggestions would make your Reader's Guide better. Okay, and you can also use my comments to help you with that Reader's Guide revision plan that you'll be doing as well. So the way I have broken it down is just some general comments here, and then I've broken it down by section. Okay, so things I'm noticing, and as far as the editor's intro go, I probably have the most comments here. And first I've broken it down by addressing content issues in section 1, 2, and 3. And then also some organizational issues I'm seeing, and then citation. Okay, so again, this are anything that I would have written on someone's document, I have written here, also because I end up repeating some of the same things over and over again on everyone's sources. So oftentimes the same comments apply across the board to students. Collection of sources, I've got some comments here. The glossary of key terms, and not many comments for about the editor. Those are looking good. Just make sure that you have that. Okay, and so that's it for Monday. Then on Wednesday, you have a revision plan. So what are you going to do based on the feedback that you received from your group members and from my comments in that previous document? Okay. And then we're going to do a draft of that editor's projected inquiry. So this assignment, hopefully you have looked at this before. This assignment is meant to emphasize the inquiry-based approach to research. So rather than ending your research with a conclusion about your topic, you are ending with another question. So if you remember at the beginning of the semester, you had that guiding question infographic. This assignment is basically very similar to that one, in that you are using the infographic format to propose a new question. So based on what you now know about your topic, what question do you now have that you would continue your research with if you had more time? Now this is hypothetical because we do not have another semester to continue your research, but you're imagining, if we could continue the research process, if it were, you had a second semester where all you did was continue your line of research on this topic, what question would you use to guide the next semester? You're not actually going to go out and do any research, okay? You've done all the work you need to do for this assignment. All you're doing is focusing in on a question to come up with that you think is an interesting new question that you have. So the purpose of this is to emphasize this, how true research actually happens really slowly, and that for someone to actually come up with a really good idea, they often would take as much time as you all have taken or longer to come to their actual true question. So you could think of this question as a more informed question than your first guiding question. Okay, so I have some student examples down here of what their original guiding question was, and then how their new projected question. You can see there's still open-ended questions, and that's important as well. So you don't want to have a question that is not open-ended, or one that is really hypothetical, like what would happen if we got rid of all our cell phones. Please do not go out and do any additional research, or you will not be fulfilling the assignment instructions. Instead, what you want to do is you're using Google Drawings, and if you remember when we did the first assignment, the guiding question infographic, you were drawing on the material you had been assigned to read to show how you ended up at that guiding question. We're doing basically the same thing here. You're drawing on the material in your reader's guide to show how you ended up at your new projected inquiry question. So this idea of projected inquiry, you're projecting into the future. Here's what I would work on if I had more time. And we're putting this as kind of like a bonus feature at the end of your reader's guide, as a way to kind of get your reader thinking about, well, what's next in terms of this topic. So again, you have all the information that you'll need to include in this infographic, so you shouldn't need to go out and search for more information. You'll want to include your original guiding question and your new question. So you want to distinguish between them. You're basically showing how you started out and where you ended up, and what evidence between those 2 points, what can you show us from your reader's guide? All right. So you are going to add that to your reader's guide. And let me go back here. Okay. So you have the draft and also how to add that to your reader's guide. So you want to do that by the end of the day on Wednesday, so that on Friday you will get some peer review on that part of your draft as well. Okay, so for Friday, you have a final peer review of the reader's guide. You are using, again, the comments and the checklist to comment on your group members' drafts. Okay, and then we have an introduction to proofreading and editing assignment to help you with the kind of final touches on your document. All right. So that's it for this week. Please let me know if you have any questions. Also, and as I'm noting in the announcement, even if you have not completed a draft, you are still responsible for doing a peer review of your group members. So that's really important. Even if if you haven't completed it, you still need to put in the time to do your group members, and remember that you will receive an engagement rating from each of your group members, which will be a grade at the end of the semester. Okay. Well, have a good week. Again, contact me with any questions.